told you that the only thing that you can be sure exists in this universe is your mind. Let me explain. Solipsism is the philosophical idea that states that the only thing that you can be sure to exist is your mind. Everything else, including all other people, animals, and minds, do not exist because there is no way for you to definitively prove that they actually exist. Everything that you experience in your daily lives, including talking to other people, smelling flowers, and even falling in love with someone, are all part of your imagination. It all comes down to the fact that I can be sure that my mind exists, therefore I exist. However, because I cannot be sure that other people's minds exist, I cannot be sure that they also exist. Even the fact that you're watching this video right now is part of your imagination. Kind of trippy.
Solipsism. Yeah, so they say the only mind that's sure to exist is your own. And everybody else that you see and everything else that you see is just a product of your imagination. That we cannot be sure that other minds exist except for our own. I'm telling you, man, the deep dives are starting to get a little bit scary, man. Trippy, yeah. I mean, if you think about it, and I say in my other videos that, we're creating all this with our imagination, right? This is deep in the friggin' spiritual communities, man. Right? And everything is just a product of your imagination. And if you think about it, right, that you're projecting your consciousness out into the space-time reality, so to speak, that you think you're looking out, but it's not actually looking out. The light photons are coming in, traveling to the back of your retina, and then traveling to the back of your head, and then lighten up your visual cortex, and then that's exactly how we see, inside our head, not out. So, in theory, this kind of makes sense because we are just a product of our imagination, right? But this goes so much deeper, man. Once you start getting into the higher aspects of yourself and how, this is the third dimension, and you get into the fourth dimension and the fifth dimension, where they say the world is splitting off into the 5D to the fifth dimension, right? Like that you have a higher version of yourself sort of guiding this avatar, this character in this, you want to call it a simulation or a lucid dream. There's another video there of the chickens, man. All of a sudden, the chick has got her camera out and she's videoing her chickens. Then they just freeze, right? Like something you would see in a video game, like a glitch in the Matrix, right? So anyways, like a lot of the top thinkers, Elon Musk and everything, all say that it's 1 in billions that we're actually in base reality. That this is some kind of a simulation, simulating a simulation, and it just keeps going all the way down the line, right? Like you don't know you're in a simulation, and then all of a sudden people start to become aware that they're a character in a simulation, and then they simulate the thing again, and it just keeps going over and over and over. So you don't really know what the true core reality actually is, man. Oh God. Like you talk about, you don't need drugs, man, when you start friggin' going deep like this down the old rabbit hole and start really discovering and understanding some inner truths of this universe, man. Then you get into quantum physics and how everything is particles and energy and quantum waves and the observer effect, and how a wave turns into a particle when you observe it, and all this other stuff. Like the double slit experiment is famous for that. And the observer, collapses the energetic wave into a particle, and then particles and photons and quarks, and it goes all the way down till it's just energy, man. We're just energy, right? And then if you use the simulation of the game theory, that we're just decoding information, right? As like in a game with their 5 senses. And man, I'm telling you, like if you put it all together, it sort of has some sort of substance. It sort of makes sense, but no one can really know for sure. Then you get into the near-death experiences, where people talk about their near-death experiences and what happened, how they come out of their body and seeing their body, and then they travel through the tunnel of light, and that's supposed to be apparently a trap, a reincarnation trap. If you go through the tunnel, you get reincarnated back into the system or to the game or to whatever. Then you got the lucid dream theory, where this is all just a dream, that we're just our consciousness dreaming that we're all in this so-called reality, man. I like to buy into the lucid dream one because I like to lucid dream. I dream, man, at night. It's awesome. I mean, some of the dreams that I have, so realistic. And then if you know that you're dreaming and that you're in a dream, and you can become lucid in it and do all kinds of stuff, man. I'm doing like stuff with my hands, like with energy, and like cleaning friggin' house, man. It's really cool. Flying around, and my God, women galore, like unreal. Like the women that I show up in my dream. My dream world is better than this reality. Like Twilight Zone, right? Oh man, I'm telling you, brothers. I'm not losing my mind. Well, yeah, I would have to say I would have to say that I would be losing my mind, because nobody else thinks this way. Not a lot of people. Not the average Joe person who works at the friggin' 7-Eleven and who's going to their 9-to-5 job, you know, just immersed in the matrix and thinking that they're just like these background characters in the thing, and just no, they don't question anything. They just do what they have to do, and you know, using their illusion to create their life and not question anything and just do as they're told, and whatever happens, and you go along with it. The government says, stick something in your arm, you say, oh, okay, I'll do that, no problem, because the government they told me so do that, and then they tell you to do this, you'll go do it, and whatever, right? Nobody questions anything. Like, they're just like on autopilot, man. And you know, this is where I find I have more power, because I pulled back out of this freaking illusion of reality, and I've seen things from a higher perspective years ago, man, and caught on to all the jargon that was being pushed out, and was fortunate enough not to make any stupid decisions back in 2020 when they had this pandemic. So I am happy for that, man. But hey, you'll never be part of the pack. You'll never be part of the crowd. You'll never fit in. You'll always be an outcast. You'll always be the weirdo, the crazy guy, the friggin' right? So it's an isolated adventure. It's a solitary adventure that it becomes, right? Unless you can find another person that's sort of on the same frequency or on the same level. He likes to take these deep dives and start to understand the true nature of reality, why we're here, what the hell are we doing here. And I never bought into just coming here and working a 9-to-5 job and paying my taxes and retirement, and then getting a few years left before you croak. Deal didn't go over well with me, man. So I had to go deep, man. I had to understand how things get manifested in your life, and how things appear in your life, and why things appear in your life, and how are certain people doing certain things. And man, I'm just fascinated with it. That's why I'm the philosopher, man. I'm the philosopher's stone. Yeah, so anyways, with that being said, that's a hard word to say, man. Solipsism. Solipsism? Solipsism. Anyways, Google that one up. YouTube that one up and get some info on that. It does, at a deeper level, sort of make sense, but you know, if you take that into consideration, you buy into that, man, you take a lot of responsibility on too, because now you're like the sole creator of all this. Nobody else exists. It's all through your imagination. Right? It's just a big dream. Right? None of this shit's real. Oh, it's so deep, but it's cool. It's really cool. Keeps me going, man. So with that being said, we're going to end it at that. So, take it easy. See you in the next.